Not long now. 1 week to go. 3 weeks before I can eat. I'm counting the eating days. Squeeze. But it's cold.
Yeah, it is cold.
It's cold out. In the off season I train like just once a day. In the mornings, normally around 7 o'clock for like 2 hours. I do one body part a day. Like Monday I'll do legs, Tuesday I'll do back, Wednesday chest, Thursday arms, then Friday maybe shoulders and maybe some hamstrings again or some calves. I normally do calves every day, but just one exercise, 8 sets on that exercise. And my training's normally always been the same since I started. I do normally 20 sets per body part, sometimes more for legs, but it's always been 20 sets, like 4 different exercises or 5 different exercises, 4 to 5 sets on each, heavy as I can go, 6 to 8 reps. In the off season I don't do too much cardio work, so I'm trying to put the weight on. I do it 3 times a week, 20 minutes, 30 minutes at a time. Come contest times when I start doing more cardio and going to train twice a day, and I break my body groups up when I'm getting ready for a show. It's sort of, normally go by how I feel. Some days I'll do chest and biceps together, shoulders, triceps. Always do legs by himself and then back by itself and then just swing it around and do it again. But then some days I might do chest and back superset. So contests I normally go by how I feel, but I always do 2 body parts, one in the morning, one in the evening, plus cardio twice a day. Sometimes 3 times. I do like 45 minutes in the morning on a bike. Come night time I do 45 minutes on a Stairmaster or treadmill or bike again. And sometimes during lunchtime, mid-afternoon, if I get bored, I do the bike for half an hour again. But normally contest training sort of doesn't change from my off season. I still train the same weights heavy. Some exercises you have to go a bit lighter because you've lost a bit of body weight. So something like a bent over barbell row, you haven't got the body weight to counteract the weight you're holding, so to save injury. I go a bit lighter on those, but it stays the same all the time, 20 sets, 6 to 8 reps, no matter what, whether we get ready for a show or off season. I just change the frequency of the training more. Yeah, like contest time and off season, I sort of keep the exercises the same. I'll always stick to the basics all the time. Like for chest, for instance, I might do incline dumbbells, flat dumbbells, flies, and then some dips. In the off season, come contest time, the only thing I change different is I might throw in a superset with dips and cable crossovers. I just throw in some shaping exercises. But the basic ones still stay the same, and like for chest and weights in the off season I might go up to 200 pound dumbbells. Come contest time I still got the strength to use the 200 pound dumbbells. Same with legs. When I'm doing legs in the off season I stick to squatting, extensions, heavy leg presses. Come contest time I'll throw in, I'll do more extensions, sissy squats and lunges. Like my best squats have been 7, 8 plates a side. Come contest time, like this year, get ready for Olympia, I was still doing 7 plates. I did 8 plates once, but then it's just like a mental factor. I get start to worry about getting injured, and I don't want to get injured before a contest, so I sort of pre-exhaust my legs and do the extensions first, leg press first, do squats third or fourth. That way I only go 4 to 5 plates a side. But normally exercises never change. I just throw in a few shaping ones on each thing, but I always stick to the basics through the off season, through contest time as well. And the weights always stay heavier, as heavy as I can go. And normally, I've always been a believer in training by feel. If I feel strong one day, I'll go heavy. If I don't feel strong, I won't push it. Whereas some people, they do bench press one day, they might bench press 3 plates. Next time they go to bench press, they're on 2 plates and they're, struggling and can't get the bar up, but yet mentally they want to go 3 plates. So when they do, Now the body's not rested, it's not recovered, so they normally get injured. So it's best to go by how your body feels, and if you don't feel like going heavy and you can't do it, don't push it, because you're only going to get injured that way. When I first did my first pro show in 92 in Niagara, I weighed 179, 180 pounds. And then after that show, I always told, like, Irvin Gill, one of the photographers, you know, next year I'll come in 10, 12 pounds heavier, and they're like, oh, you can't put that much weight on. But the following year, I came in at 190, 191. And I still wasn't happy, so I told him again, you know, next year I'm going to be 10 pounds heavier again. And he sort of, I don't think he can, but the following year, I came in around 199, 200, 201 pounds. And the following year, I weighed in at like 214. I was 214 at the 97 Ironman and 97 Arnold, but the Olympia, which was only a couple of months later, 4 or 5 months later, I weighed in at 220. So each year I've always put on roughly 10 to 12 pounds, because in the off season I really believe in, like the olden days, really bulking up. I eat a lot of high fat foods. Still eat good foods, but then if I crave McDonald's, if I crave Kentucky chocolates, ice cream, I eat it. I don't sort of worry about it in the off season, because I just want to put size on. Last off season I was 275 pounds, and everyone was saying, you know, you won't get in shape, you're too heavy, you know, it's going to be too hard on your heart. And like, I get my blood checked all the time, and in the off season when I'm eating all those bad foods, my cholesterol's only 113. Like the average is 200, like the doctor said it's the lowest he's ever seen, and everything else in my body was perfect. So a lot of it's got to do with hereditary. You know, I know people who eat healthy salads, watch what they eat, they train, but yet their cholesterol skyrockets and they have a heart attack, whereas I've seen people drink, smoke, eat bad food and live to their 90. So it's one of those things, you know, you just go by what works for you. And like last time I got the 275, people said I wouldn't get in shape, but yet come these shows this year, all the ones who said I couldn't get in shape, they'll come to ask me what did I do. So, you know, it's one of those things, if you put your mind into it, you know, it's only weight, you can lose it pretty quick by doing cardio. A lot of it's fluid weight, but this year, before the 98 Olympia, I'm going to try and get up to 300 pounds in the off season. Hopefully compete in the high 220s, 230 at next year's Olympia. So we'll see how it goes. But right now, after like the Olympia was about a month and a half ago now, I did the European tour. Right now I'm about 246, 247. Sort of just started eating. I always sort of just take it easily so the stomach and that gets used to the different foods again, because you know, breakfast now, before when I was dieting, was like cream of rice, protein drink, and maybe some apples, and that was it. But now breakfast is like bacon, eggs, sometimes steak, Cocoa Puffs or Fruit Loops, toaster strudels, milkshake, and then maybe some chocolate pudding. Then I go to the gym, so sort of just going to change the stomach around to get used to the foods. But then some mornings I'll have a healthy breakfast, and then after training I'll have like steak, rice and eggs still. But then during the day I'll have McDonald's, Kentucky, Chinese for dinner. I'll have another steak. So sometimes in the off season I have 2 to 3 steaks a day, and I always like drinking full cream milk in the off season. I mean, getting ready for shows I'll have low fat milk, but off season I prefer the full cream milk, ice cream. You know, it's one of those things in the off season I just sort of, I don't really worry about what I eat, whereas some people, yeah, because wherever I have a McDonald's hamburger, sure, it's super high in fat, but yet it's still got protein, it's still got carbohydrates in it. You know, it's got all those things in that I need, just that the fat content's so high. But in the off season I'm not worried about it. So as I sit down, I always notice too, you look back to the old days where guys did the basic training, they ate those sort of foods, they all had that dense, thick muscle on them, whereas guys these days, you see some, they have great physiques, but yet it's just not that real dense look like Sergio had, Bird or Fox had, Arnold had. All those guys had that real deep looking muscle that looks solid, like they've done the foundation work, whereas guys these days, you see them at contest time, they look good, but yet when they stop training, a lot of it just disappears. So I like those guys who do the heavy work and always like the sort of, a lot of powerlifting movements, but yet they just have that heavy foundation work. I want you to get this muscle in the hands here. Look. This is a good muscle.
Stand right over here just for a second. The light is good.
And these are just some of the Superman stuff I have. Like, this is the very first Superman comic book cover, the very first one that come out. And this is just other stuff. This is from toys are from Burger King. I had to eat lots of hamburgers to get them. This is just a figurine. Swimming pool floaties, which I decided to stick on the wall. Superman fan. Half a Superman costume for when I'm out of shape. I can wear that and have the abs. But all the other stuff is like bowls, costumes, collectible cards. I found this one in an old clothing store. It's the very first like Superman lunchbox and drink flask, and some of the toys are recent, some of the older toys from the early days, and all the cups and different figurines. And I collect a lot of the pictures like this and the plates, which are all like limited numbers. They're only like 200, 250 of them, like these figurines here, and the black one over here, and keychains, wallets, little Superman basketball and yo-yos and everything else. And then just man business card holders in the shape of a briefcase, earrings, necklaces, cufflinks, ties, socks, underwear, boxer shorts, dress shirts. This is the secret of Superman. See that? Kit Kats and chocolate covered almonds. That's the training secret. And this is my cat. This is Lex Luthor. Hello. It's a living. Look at the Superman figurine. People think I'm obsessed.